Hi, I'm Alice Grist, and this is a vlog about what is enlightenment? What is it? And how do we know if we are enlightened beings? Okay, first things first. I don't think any of us are all that enlightened. I think enlightenment is not a permanent state of being, sadly. Some people claim that they are wholly and utterly and entirely enlightened. But I think for the vast majority of human beings, the experience on this planet is based around reaching for enlightenment, reaching to be better, reaching to be happier, reaching to be the version of ourselves that would make our parents proud, our grandparents, our ancestors, ourselves, our children. And it comes in fits and spurts. Enlightenment is not just something that is endowed upon you that you awaken to one morning and suddenly you know. I think we can go up and down with our enlightenment as we become up and down with our awareness and our awakening and our consciousness. So one day you can be all about the Zen vibes and you can be all about the meditation and all about that, yes, but I understand my emotions. And the next day, shit hits the fan and you lose that calm, that inner peace. Life comes up and pounces upon you and you panic, you become anxious, you worry. And then you worry that you're not enlightened anymore. It's difficult, isn't it? It's difficult to hold on to. And anyone on a spiritual path might kick themselves and feel guilty and feel untrue to their own being when that happens, but I think that's part of enlightenment. I don't think, like I said, that it's a permanent fixture of you. I think it's aspects of you at different times and dependent on the weather and your mood and the circumstances and the chaos around you, and how you choose to interpret all of that and how you choose to react to that. So enlightenment is something that will come and will go frequently, probably throughout your life. And as you embrace the darkness and the more chaotic times, the more liable you are to have little enlightenments. If you're just looking for the light, if you're just looking to manifest, if you're looking to attract a better life, those are not paths to enlightenment. I think living a gritty, everyday, human experience of life will have you naturally finding enlightenment. And I don't even believe you have to be a spiritual person for that to happen. You don't have to be on some kind of spiritual path. You just have to be willing to understand you, to start with, and the people around you, secondly, and humanity as a third possible option, and the planet and nature and animals and our place within all of that cosmic madness. And again, it comes and goes. This isn't something that you can hang on to and then suddenly be, dusted by stardust every morning when you wake up and angels calling to you and spirit guides and crystals zinging out. This is not a reality of humanity. We are here to be gritty. We are here to make mistakes. We are here to learn from them. And that way, enlightenment may well lead in fits and spurts for moments, precious moments. So I think it's great to consider what it is in our lives that has led to some forms of enlightenment so that we can feel on board with it, so that it doesn't feel like this destination that's far flung and difficult to grab hold of. So here are some things that might have happened to you that have perhaps led you to feel more enlightened. Have you been willing to change? Have you been willing to change something in your life to become a better person? And it could be all kinds of things. It could be an inner habit. It could be an outer habit. It could be an addiction. It could be just a willing to accept that you aren't who you were and that you're happy with who you are becoming. Have you experienced great joy? Because that can come from out of the blue and can lead us to be right in the moment and to feel connected to the people around us and those that we love. Have you experienced great pain and tragedy and trauma and chaos, and within that space found some peace, even if just for a moment? Because there's this myth that when you find enlightenment, you should suddenly be like, oh, like forever. No, you might be for a few minutes. And if you've had that, then that's an enlightenment. Have you felt a connection to something? Something outside yourself? Perhaps a little bird that's hopped along your path, or a flower that just took your breath away, or a sunset, or, you know, being by the ocean and just feeling something a little bit more. And have you had your own little evidences? You know, those psychic inner knowings, those intuitions, those gut instincts that have led you to know something that, how would you have otherwise have known? There's no way you could have known. And yet you did. You had a feeling and you followed it. Or you understood it, or you accepted it. Or you received a sign and you took it on board. I mean, all of these small things are little enlightenments. Understanding why something shitty happened to you and how you can go on to be a better person because of it. Or how, as you grow, you can influence the ones that you love and the people around you. Have you held on tight with love to someone who really needed it? Have you gifted parts of yourself to other people? Have you got through some really dark times? And as you've done that, listened to the intuitions that have told you everything's going to be okay? Have you told someone else everything's going to be okay? Have you tried your best to be a good person? There's so many ways to be enlightened, and none of them involve travelling to Tibet and visiting a monastery. Although that, you know, it's great if you can. Do it. None of them involve sitting on a yoga mat. None of them involve meditating like fiercely and ferociously every day. Most of them involve overcoming difficulty. Most of them involve feeling connected to something else. Most of them involve being willing to change, even if it's for short periods of time, and experimenting with who you are. And most of them involve getting back to the root of who you were once upon a time, before life put labels on you and put, you know, accessories around you. Before you became the girl or the guy who is known for A, B and C. Who were you before all of that? When you were born, when you were just a pure soul, when you were that little tiny baby in somebody's arms. Who were you before all of that? Have a think on that. That could bring a little enlightenment, because often once we've stripped away all the accoutrements and accessories of self, we're left with something that might feel a little bit more like bare bones, but that in fact is bare spirit, bare soul, truth, love, honesty. I don't know. So that's my thought on what enlightenment might be to you and what it is to me. It's bits and bobs. It's not a continual line. It's something that we find when we need it desperately, or that comes to us in moments of unexpected peace. And it's not something that we can, like, we don't have a map. There's no map. There's a million books to tell you how to get it, but there's no map, and the evidence that's going to come is going to come through your life. Not through a book, not through a deck of cards, not through somebody else doing something spiritual on your behalf. It's going to come through your tragedies, your traumas, your chaos, your love. It's going to come in moments. So allow enlightenment to come and give yourself a big thumbs up when it does, because it doesn't have to be what you think it is. It can be little things, little blessings, little gifts of, boom, oh, suddenly everything made sense. And 5 minutes later, it's forgotten, and that's fine, because you're busy and you have life to deal with, and that's why we're here. That's why we're humans. We're not here to float off in the ether. I've said that so many times in my books and my writings. If we were, we wouldn't be here. We're here to be human in this body, and the drama and the chaos and grit that entails. And then those little enlightenments are like a ladder that helps us get through the day and get through the life. So have a think about what yours might be, and enjoy them and accept them and think, great, I'm going to have more of those, because you will. And in time, you will become enlightened, just as in time you won't. And that's all okay. So I hope that helps you with an interesting, a free-range spirituality version of what enlightenment might be to you. And I hope it's clocked a few little ideas in your head of when you have had enlightenments. Okay, I'm Alice Grist, Cosmic Mother, author of Dirty and Divine. Please do comment below any of your little enlightenments that you've had and enjoyed and endured. Okay, thanks. Bye.